Let me share with you a jewelry brand that's scaling like crazy right now, and it's extremely clean, simple, and their offers are just amazing. So, we're going to dissect everything in here. We're going to take a look at the trends that they follow, the traffic that they get, the ads that they run, and I'm even going to show you some sourcing ideas and adjacent trends that you can use yourself to launch a business like this. So, let's get right into it. First and foremost, let's take a look at their traffic distribution. So, as you see, they're getting a lot of traffic. It's not an insane brand like, $2 or $3 million a month, which I generally talk about. It's actually a bit smaller. I would guess they're doing about 200 to 300K a month. But I wanted to showcase them because they're doing very genius things that I think are going to push them continuously to grow beyond those levels. And sorry, I'm a little bit sick. And just so you know, my name is Ari, and I have a company called Akemi. We're an agency. We do a lot of stuff for brands. So I've seen the inside of a lot of different stores that are in the 8 and even 9-figure levels. And with my team, we run performance marketing for a lot of these companies. And now we're actually, let me see, building a studio-ish. I mean, I don't even want to say that. A lot of people say that now. But we've had some of our own brands, which I'm mainly focusing on, to be honest, that are doing quite well. So I make these videos to share insights, but I'm really honestly mainly focusing on my stores right now from the studio and the softwares that we're building. But if we see one of the most brilliant things that these guys are doing right away that's helping them grow to that extent is, of course, running really great offers. I mean, it really is that simple. So they're mostly running traffic to their landing page here. So if we actually take a look at, for example, this is one of the ads that they're currently running. It's a pretty simple ad, actually. It's really, really simple. It's a carousel ad of just this collection. And, it's a very eye-catching looking picture. It looks good. So then when you click shop now, it takes you, oh, actually, never mind. This one specifically takes you to the product pages. And on every product page, they have this 3+1 deal. So buy 3, get 1 free, which sounds actually like a crazier offer than it really is, which is why it's such a brilliant one, right? It makes it feel like an insane deal, but in reality, you're buying 3 different things. So, it's a really, really good deal. Now, also the awesome thing that they do is they just give you ideas for things to add to this deal right here. So let's actually add some of these to cart. Okay, so when you click it, it kind of reloads, which I don't like. I don't like that it does that. It would be cleaner if it just right away pushed it to the cart. But actually, this automatically updates. This dynamically updates, which is pretty cool. So close. Just one more item to get a free item. So let's do it. Boom. We have a free item. So now we can add whatever we want and make it free. This is such a brilliant funnel. I love, love, love this funnel. It's just so simple, but at the same time, it's just so well done, So anyways, they have all these different payment methods. Super cool. Now, if we take a look at all the ads that they're running, that's kind of the thing. Let me look. I have some notes here. You can see a lot of their angles right now are literally just about this sale. That's all it really is. But that's kind of how jewelry is, right? If you just sort of curate a specific vibe that people like and you're consistently showcasing new products, then all you really have to do is every month or so display a new offer that's just going to get people riled up and excited. Basically just giving people an extra incentive to come buy. But you see, they're running UGC, they're running, these carousel ads that I mentioned. And what's pretty cool about this, I will say, is they just have a very specific aesthetic, a very clean, modern, like timeless, designer kind of aesthetic, I would say. I don't even know how to explain it, but, maybe if you're into design, you will understand. It's just really well done. But these days you can do pretty similar stuff with AI, which is pretty awesome, at least to start your business. I think that's a good idea, right? It may be controversial to some people, but at the end of the day, I think starting a business is hard. I'll tell you the real truth. Starting a business is pretty hard. So any advantage that you can have, you got to be scrappy, to really get your business to boom quickly. So using AI to create really congruent product images like this, I think is a really good idea. Now, there's tons of products like this, even just on Team Drop, for example, which is 100% free. You can come and source products here for free. You should just go to shopilab.ai, make a free account, and go to the Shopilab sourcing section, and then click on Team Drop, and then they'll give you priority services. So you can basically source anything for free and also communicate with your own sourcing agent for free. So it's a free sourcing agent service. It's pretty awesome. But as you see, even just in the jewelry section here, there's just some really, really interesting products that I feel like could be curated into a unique shopping experience that many people couldn't really find anywhere else. Even some of these, I mean, these are Harry Potter rings, so definitely be careful with something like that if you don't have the copyright for it. But they got a lot of really cool products, really, really interesting products. And what's really also interesting is we can browse some products from 1688 and Taobao. So we can do jewelry and see some products that people in the US don't even necessarily know about. These are popular in Asia, but not yet in the US. So I really like this niche in particular. It's like the oldest niche in the book, right? Jewelry. And there's so many also incredible trends that are always popping up in here. So I'm using Shopilab, the exploding topics tool here, which by the way, I do use Shopilab a lot in my videos. I use it for convenience. Also, it is my software, so I do want to grow it. However, the thing about it is that all the tool, like the paid version, literally saves you like $400 a month. All the combined tools that we added into this platform separately, they're all research tools that you can buy separately, and they cost nearly $450 a month just for basic subscriptions. So you can use them all here in our own beautiful dashboard for $99 a month. But hey, you don't need to do that. You can actually just use this for free too. There's a lot of free tools here that you can use, like the calculators, the sourcing features. Those are really, really helpful. And it's all free, so you don't have to pay me anything. And I'll just keep showing you these in videos. So for example, we see moss agate wedding rings are actually booming. Like that's a really interesting trend I never really thought about, but I guess moss agate wedding rings, let me just look that up on Google, let me get a quick Google search. So I guess, yeah, between $1,100 and $2,300. That's really interesting. I actually didn't really think about this, but with the advent of lab-grown diamonds, I could see these other stones or gems becoming more and more popular actually, and probably more and more expensive too. So moss agate, for example, and I'm not a jewelry expert or anything, I could be totally butchering this, but I believe it's probably much easier to source than diamonds, but they're a lot cheaper. So but they look really beautiful. Like these actually look really cool. I could see this being a bigger and bigger. I understand why this is growing, and it kind of makes sense with the rise of lab-grown diamonds. People they still want expensive jewelry, right? They still want like something to feel good about and a status symbol, but they don't necessarily want to spend $30K on a diamond ring when you got rings that are even more beautiful that are still rare for like $1,400. That's super interesting, actually. Man, I wish I had all the time in the world to just like create these ideas. You know what I mean? It would, I'd be like a trillionaire by now, but I'm just kidding. It doesn't even really matter about the money so much to that level. But yeah, like if I could just build all these ideas myself, obviously I would, but I can't because I only have a limited amount of time. So that's also part of the reason why these videos are good to make. I think it's good to give these ideas out. I mean, I have plenty of my own ideas and software and businesses that I'm running. Like I'm stretched thin as it is. So hopefully that helps you understand why it makes sense for me to give you these ideas. It's not just to sell you my products, right? My softwares or my coaching or anything like that, but it's also because I just literally don't have time for these ideas. So it's good karma for me to just give them out to the world. But yeah, super interesting stuff. Definitely an interesting trend that I didn't really think about until I made this video, right? This moss agate trend and these like other precious gems that are probably going to be booming more and more with the rise of lab-grown diamonds. I did not think I would come to that conclusion by making this video, but yeah, these guys, again, brilliant. That's what sparked this whole thing. I just saw them. I saw an ad from them, and I just kind of kept going down the rabbit hole, and now I'm arriving at some pretty insane ideas. But yeah, their site is super simple, super clean. They use a lot of UGC. This one specifically looks like AI, but it probably isn't. They have some really cool features on their Shopify store, and I guess they're probably bigger than I think. Maybe they're much bigger than I'm estimating, and I'm giving them a lower estimate. But either way, just super brilliant store. They got worldwide shipping, so that also leads me to think that they maybe ship directly from China, which is totally fine. I think if you have a problem with that, you're kind of dumb. You just don't know the fact that most of your products are from China. So, just because you can get it a little bit faster doesn't change the fact that it's made in China, right? So these people probably have a really beautiful branding and packaging experience. And it probably has helped them a lot to be able to ship from China. I don't know if they do. And maybe that's a little bit of a cope, but I do think product quality is dependent on just, how good your product is. Whether or not it ships from China, I don't think matters as much. Of course, if it can ship faster, that's a better customer experience. You probably will get happier customers, but you could have the fastest shipping in the world, and if your product is trash, you're still going to get a bad customer experience. So that's kind of my point. Okay, I did actually go ahead and take a look at their comment report on smartreply.io. There's a free comment report tool here, and it does seem actually like a lot of the pain points that they experience from customers are from delayed orders. So somebody, for example, commented, "Yes, it is beautiful, but when do I receive my order? You've got your money, Scandiv." But these are things that are actually easily preventable, customers doing this by having just 24/7 customer service everywhere, right? On social media, on DMs, on email. And that's actually what Smart Reply does. But this is a free comment tool that you can use to scan different pages and see just what people are saying about those brands, whether it's good, whether it's bad. There's a lot of interesting things you can learn from it. And I'll leave this exact free tool linked in the description, along with Smart Reply too, if you want to install that on your store. But that's about it for this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.